OutSpoken Network Sportscast Edition here. We got episode 171. Talks on Tuesday, week 13 recap for you. We got the headlines of the week. I got the power rankings as well, and plenty more headlines. We'll give you our Thursday week pick as well. Craig is not starting the show with us. Hopefully he's able to jump in a little bit through. But right after this, guys, we'll get into all that and much more. All right, guys, welcome in. It's the Outspoken Sportscast here, episode 171. Talks on Tuesday, week 13 recap. Welcome in. Hope you guys had a fantastic weekend. Sorry we did not put a show out on Friday. I was feeling under the weather and sick, and me and Craig were both beat down and just needed a kind of a little bit of a break. But I'm glad to be back today, and Craig will be on hopefully when he gets home. This week has been one heck of a week for us, both at work. But I'll start off with the NFL recap here. A week 13, we had the Thursday night game, Bills versus Patriots, and this is a game that I thought would be closer. I think I talked about it last Tuesday that I figured that the Patriots, the Bills kind of slowed down a little bit of being that just powerhouse team. They've had a couple sluggish games here. They barely beat the Lions, and I figured it might be a little bit closer. They did win 24-10. The defense for the Patriots, played decent enough. The offense couldn't get going. There was some yelling back and forth with Mac Jones and the head coach on the sideline. The offensive coordinator, more have you, than Bill Belichick. But Bills get the job done there. Packers take care of the Bears 28-19, and this is a game that's I want it well known that I want the Packers to lose out. Okay, they don't need to win another game. It does not benefit them whatsoever. We're not going to make the playoffs. Even if we did make the playoffs, it doesn't matter. This team is not good. We're not going to go anywhere. There's no point in making the playoffs. Lose out, get us the pick. But beating the Bears is always a fantastic thing because I can't stand the Bears. We're the longest rival in history. In NFL history, and we just became the most winningest franchise after beating the Bears this last weekend. So hats off to them. Bears went up 16-10, and then Packers scored 18 points in the fourth quarter. Christian Watson continues to be a touchdown machine. He's scored 8 touchdowns in a 4-game span. He's the first rookie to do that since Randy Moss. These guys look phenomenal. He's fast and big and can make the plays. So looks like we got a decent wide receiver in the draft. And Dobbs coming back too will help out. But Packers get the job done, and Aaron Rodgers continues to own the Bears. The Steelers take on the Falcons, and the Steelers get the job done. They win by 3. It was a close game. They broke up with the scoring in the second quarter with 13 points. That they were held scoreless in the fourth, but they were able to hold on and get the job done. The Falcons have been playing pretty well, but Mariota throws a game-losing interception in the fourth quarter to kind of seal the deal there, and Steelers get the victory. Jacksonville gets blown out by the Lions. This is one that I picked wrong. I thought Jacksonville, coming off the win last week against Baltimore, would step up, but the Lions have quietly won the last, I think, 4 out of 5 games, and they beat a beating down on Jacksonville 40-14. And Trevor Lawrence, let me look at his box score here and see. He 17-31, 179 yards. Not looking good. The Lions' offense has been playing pretty good the last couple games, so hats off to them, scoring 40 points at home. You got the Vikings take care of the Jets. Vikings jumped out early to a 20-6 lead at halftime. They looked like they were going to take this one big. I flipped this one off. I was flipping back and forth. But I turned it back over. I was like, okay, Mike White had a chance. They came down with a chance to score and go ahead, but he ends up throwing an interception, and they end up losing. But Mike White, you know, Mike White's looked decent. Nothing to write home about. He's, uh, it's still young in his this season for him, and I don't know. I'm not here to kill Mike White. I don't, I'm not here to say he's great. So, they had an opportunity and they let one slip there. But Minnesota's a good team, and the Jets defense played pretty good. They only gave up 27 against this offense that can be high powered on or at home. So the Jets do lose that one, unfortunately. The Commanders and the Giants both tie at 20. I hate ties in the NFL. I wish they'd get rid of them, but they both tie. It's gonna be interesting to see if this tie, hurts them in the long run when it comes to that division. Um, Commanders are 7-5-1, and the Giants are 7-4-1. Eagles look dominant against the Titans, as the Titans are a team that have been winning games here and been pretty consistent and tough to beat. They're always going to be that. They're going to be in the game, and the Eagles just came in and dominated them 35-10. The Titans didn't score a single point in the second half. AJ Brown went out there and said, "Hey, look, I circled this one on the calendar, and I would be lying if I didn't say so." And he went out there and was a beast. He had look at his stats. He went off. He had a good game. Jalen Hurts threw the ball well. He had 383 yards or 380 yards, 3 touchdowns, 29-39. He didn't run the ball. I mean, he had 5 carries and 12 yards. So they were able to shut him down rushing, but he was still able to throw the ball in the air. AJ Brown had 8 receptions, 119 yards, 2 touchdowns. Just an absolute beast. And I feel like he felt like he was disrespected because of the fact that the Titans didn't want to pay him, and the head coach Vrabel wanted to keep him. And so Ryan Tannehill had 141 yards, 14-22. He was their leading rusher. Ryan Tannehill was the leading rusher with 3 carries for 34 yards. They were able to hold Derrick Henry 11 carries for 30 yards, and they were able to hold this team under 100 yards combined rushing. So, when you look at this game, what really stands out to me about the Eagles in this game is they only rushed for 67 yards. And that means they were getting it done through the air. That means Jalen Hurts has progressed this season. Definitely, if you haven't believed it already, believe it. He's looking pretty good this year. The Broncos' woes continue. They cannot get it out of their own way. Their Russell Wilson looks lost back there, couldn't work himself out of a wet paper sack, and they lose to a backup. Jackson left this game early on with a knee injury. I believe he sprained his knee, and I just don't understand how the Broncos can't beat a backup quarterback. They lose this game 10-9. They were winning. They gave up a touchdown at the very end of in the fourth quarter, in the last quarter of the game, and they lose 10-9. Just pathetic. Hackett's going to be fired at the end of this year. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it, and because they can't move on from Russell Wilson, and they're stuck with Russell Wilson, so they've got to figure it out and bring a coach in here that can turn him around, because they are absolutely stuck, and it's flabbergasting to see how bad the Baltimore Ravens are. Not the Baltimore Ravens, the Denver Broncos. I mean, Baltimore, they have a good record, but they're not as scary and as good as you think. Deshaun Watson's first game in the NFL was abysmal. He had 12 of 31, 131 yards, and interception. He was sacked once. He had a QBR of 28.5. Bad, just terrible. He got booed out of the building. They let him there know in Houston that he wasn't wanted. He threw a touchdown. He threw an interception in the end zone. Needless to say, but they still won. Cleveland still won 27-14 because Houston's that bad of a team, and they're going to get the first round pick this year. They're 1-10-1, and Cleveland moves to 5-7. Rusty Deshaun Watson was rusty, and he's going to be after 700 days between his seasons. So he looked really, really bad, and the defense helped out score some points there as well for the Cleveland Browns to get this victory. And Allen, the quarterback for Houston, had a QBR of 3. That's how bad his day was. So not a very good outing for either one. Seattle holds on in LA to beat the Rams 27-23. This Seattle team's tough, man. They just keep winning games, and they're in games. And I've already did my apology tour in Seattle and was on it. Geno Smith threw for 367 and 3 touchdowns. Almost 100 yards rushing. Lockett went off for 128. DJ Metcalf 127. And with the Rams missing out on Stafford, not too bad, putting up 23 points there on the offensive side. Now this is this should have been game of the week. And the 49ers Dolphins. 49ers get the job done, 33-17. They're all over Tua Tagovailoa. The offense struggled to move the ball against this good defense, and they were dominant. And Tua did not look good this game. Now, what's more interesting is Jimmy Garoppolo broke his foot and is going to miss. There was rumors that he's going to miss all the season with surgery. Adam Schefter reported, I believe, earlier today that he could miss 7-8 weeks, and that's back into the playoff time. Purdy came in. Purdy is the last name. He's 25-37, 210 yards, 2 touchdowns, 1 interception. Not fantastic, but not didn't cost him the game, didn't lose him the game. He had a better QBR than Tua. Tua's only threw for 295. He threw for more yards, but he had 2 interceptions. He was sacked 3 times and had a QBR of 19. So not a good day for them. They only rushed for 33 yards. That's not going to get the job done. Hill went off. He had 146 yards and 9 receptions, but that was really kind of it. McCaffrey went off. He had 80 yards in the air, and he had 66 yards on the ground. And the 49ers are a tough team, and this head coach, Shanahan's a great football coach. He's going to be able to win games with this guy, the backup quarterback. And they're going to play good defense, and they're going to play good offense. And as long as the quarterback doesn't just kill them and throw 3 interceptions in a game, then they're going to have a chance to win, no matter who they're facing. They were able to shut down Tua, and this is a good win by the 49ers, and it's a strong win by the 49ers. Joe Cool stays undefeated against the Chiefs or against Patrick Mahomes. He's 3-0 against him as they get the job done, 27-24. As you see a fumble, I was watching this game, especially the second half of this game, and Travis Kelce fumbles the football, which you don't usually see. He fumbled the football. It allowed the Bengals to come down and score, and they gave the ball back to Kansas City, but Kansas City couldn't score with it, and the Bengals just ran out the clock. And there was a third. It was second and 6. And Burrow took a big sack, and I was like, "Oh, that's 3rd and 12, 3rd and 11, 3rd and 12. This could be the ball game, because that sack hurt him." And I was like, "Man, if he doesn't get the first down here on this long 3rd down because he took a sack, and you're going to give the ball back, and when you give the ball back to Patrick Mahomes, no matter how bad of a game he's had, how good of a game they have, how whatever, you're more than likely going to lose the ball game. That's just how good Patrick Mahomes is." But Burrow stands in the pocket, throws a beautiful 12-yard pass. He stood in the pocket. Right as he let go, gets lit up, throws it. Guy makes a great catch. I think it was Higgins across the middle, and they get the first down to seal this game, and they win 27-24. It's a big booster for them. They're 1 game back from the Chiefs record-wise. They're starting to heat up right on time. They're looking good. This is one of those games that's going to lift them up with the confidence boost and get in there. And kudos to Joe Burrow and getting the job done. Raiders take care of business and beat the Chargers 27-20 as the Chargers continue to just disappoint A lot of their fan base and disappointed me this season. I had high hopes for them this year, but they're not going to get the job done, unfortunately. They're 6-6. Raiders are 5-7. They're one game above the Raiders, and the Raiders could catch them and for that second in the division there. So they've got to watch out. I just don't know what it is. I think they got to part ways with their head coach. Something's missing there with the Raiders. Something is missing. Cowboys struggle against the Colts in the first three quarters, but until they turn it on in the fourth. Now, the Cowboys take care of business. Look, they scored 33 points in the fourth quarter, 54-19. This was going to be a wreck, and I told my boys at work, if you don't win by 21, it doesn't count because this team is absolute trash, and they won 54-19. They got in there and they handled their business, and good teams win the games they're not supposed to win, and they dominate the teams that they're supposed to win. So they dominated the Colts, and they got the job done 54-19. In last night's game, the Bucks and Saints were winning this game. They were up 16-3 with 3 minutes left, and Tom Brady works his magic, and they score 2 touchdowns, and they go up and they win this game 17-16. And they give a little bit of hope that Tom Brady's back, and they give a little bit of hope that the Bucks are back. But they were really they were just bad. They punted, interception, fumble, punted, and then scored 2 touchdowns. And the Saints are just a bad football team, and the Bucks are just a bad football team, and just bad football. But the Saints end up letting one slip away that might haunt them at the end of the year coming into playoffs. There's an interesting piece. That's your recap there of the week 13. I beat Craig last week by 1 game. I beat him by 1 game to take the lead in our pick'em. He wasn't too happy about that. It was close. I was 13-2. He was 13-2. He was 12-3. So we had a good game. We had a good week picking. It's just didn't go his way on one of the calls there. Thursday night football. We're doing our Thursday night pick on Tuesdays, and then Fridays we will give you our pick for the rest of the week. And Thursday night game this week is the Raiders and the Rams. And I figured, and I thought that the NFL probably figured this is going to be a good game before the season. They thought the Raiders were going to be good. The defending champions Rams are going to be good. Neither one of these teams are good. And they're going to be playing each other, and Derek Carr is going to be playing against the backup quarterback. And so I got the Raiders winning this football game. I'm not sure what Craig has. Hopefully he's here soon. He's running a little late from work. But I got the Raiders winning that one. All right, let's jump into your power rankings. And last week was tough. This week's tough too. I mean, who are you going to put in? Who are you going to take out? Miami to me got bumped down for the way they lost against the 49ers. They get bumped out. I got the Eagles at number 1. They looked dominant this last weekend. They're 11-1, and the Eagles, the beginning of the year when they were like 8-0, I was going, okay, this team, they look good, but they don't look dominant. They don't look like they're better than the Bills and the Chiefs. They look good. They look dominant on Sunday. They won 35-10. They beat a good football team. And so I got to put the number 1. They're 11-1. They've only lost 1 game. The Bills and Chiefs have taken a step back a little bit. And so I got the Eagles number 1. The Bills to me remain at number 2, or at number 2. They've won the last couple of games. They're still winning these football games. They won by 14 against the Patriots on Thursday Night Football. And I still got the Chiefs here. I still got the Chiefs at number 3. I didn't knock them down for the Bengals loss. They were winning these games. The Bengals are a tough team. I didn't knock the Chiefs down. Um, the Chiefs stay at number 3. I think they're still the top 3 team in the league, and the Bengals just playing really well. This team, to me, gets the job done in multiple ways. They play decent defense. They run the ball. They have, doesn't matter who Patrick Mahomes has to throw the ball to. They throw the ball over the field. And if the Chiefs lose this week, then I will knock them down a little bit. But right now, I got the Chiefs at the 3. So I got Eagles, Bills, Chiefs, and then I got to give respect to the Dallas Cowboys. Okay, they are winning games like they should. They just blew out the Colts. You got to give them credit for doing what they should be doing, and that's beating really bad football teams. Um, this offense seems to be clicking a little bit. This defense seems to be hungry. So I got the Cowboys here at 4. They've been in my top 5 before. I dropped them out a couple weeks ago, and they're back in there right now, number 4. And number 5, I've got the 49ers. And that was tough for me because their loss of Jimmy Garoppolo, but they just showed you they just beat and manhandle the Miami Dolphins, who are a good football team, with a backup quarterback. And so I got the 49ers here. If they keep winning, I'll keep moving them up. They look to be a force as they get ready for the playoffs and the back end of the football season. And they're going to be a tough force in the playoffs. This defense looks really, really well, and their head coach knows what he's doing with the football. So I got those are my top 5 power rankings for week 13. You got the Eagles, the Bills, the Chiefs, the Cowboys, the 49ers. The Bengals are probably at number 6. I could have put them above the 49ers. I just think they're better on defense. Their defense to me is better than the Bengals. Bengals are right there at 5.5 to 6 on my list. There's no half, so they're there at 6 in the honorable mention spot. All right, guys, we've got a lot of headlines for you this week. All right, guys, Baker Mayfield has been released by the Panthers, and they're claimed he was picked up today by the Rams. Interesting pick. Baker Mayfield is not a good quarterback, okay? And I really liked him coming out of college. I liked his attitude. I thought he played decent for the Browns. He got hurt there. They got rid of their best quarterback they've had in not in franchise history, but the best quarterback they've had in years. And he goes over the Panthers, and I thought, okay, maybe he might do good here. DJ Moore, McCaffrey, and then they get rid of McCaffrey, and he just didn't work out. He didn't win over the locker room. The locker room wanted to play for Sam Darnold more than Baker Mayfield. They release him. They realize that, hey, this is just not really working out, and they release him. And the Rams picked him up, rightfully so. I figured maybe the 49ers might take a shot at him as well, but the Rams pick him up. Will he come in and start? Well, he's got to be better than the backup quarterback they have. Maybe they turn it around there. It's just a short-term game here for the Rams in him in just this season. So I don't know if he stays on there after the season, if he plays a lot or what. Maybe he comes in and he's not picking up the playbook all that well, and we don't see him. But the Rams are kind of struggling, and the Rams are just not as good as they should be, and even when Stafford was there this season. So Baker Mayfield now is a Los Angeles Ram. The Titans fire their GM Robinson after the Eagles blowout. I guess they felt like this team should be more competitive. Should have been able to compete more with the tough teams. And to me, I don't ever fear the Titans. To me, they're not a team that I fear. They play well. They were the number 1 seed last year. I didn't fear them last year. They went into and they lost to the Bengals. This has probably been a long time coming. There's probably some behind the scenes stuff, and just they felt like he wasn't doing his job. player personnel, and maybe it's because AJ Brown just went off and had a game, and because of that, because that they were like, maybe this guy's the guy. Said, hey, we can trade AJ Brown, and AJ Brown just totally demolished them, and they were probably like, whose great idea was it to get rid of this guy? Oh, it was his. Well, let's go ahead and move on from him, because that was a bad idea. But they ended up firing him, and they'll look for a new GM at the end of the year. And maybe this is the time where you blow it up. I like Vrabel as a head coach, but there's some times in sports where you have 5 or 6 years, and it's not working out. You're not meeting your goals. You're a good football team. You had a good run. It's just not. We're not going to reach where we need to be with you. And time to move on. So it's interesting to see what the Titans do at the end of the season. Odell Beckham Jr. has been making his rounds. He met with the Dallas Cowboys. He actually was at the Dallas Mavericks game last night as the Dallas Mavericks demolished the Suns 130-111. And it was kind of interesting because Odell is really close to Devin Booker, who plays on the Suns. And so it's kind of funny. But he met with the Cowboys. He did his thing. But there's rumors going around that Jerry Jones is not comfortable with the physical progression that Beckham has made with his torn ACL, and that leaves a lot of question marks on whether he wants to sign that checkbook for Odell, given the kind of money he's going to want. Someone will pay him, I think. Now the thing about this is Odell's older. He's blown ACL out in his knee both 2 times already. He wants a long-term 3-year, not a long-term like 5 or 6 years, but he wants a 2 or 3-year deal. He doesn't want a 1-year deal. He's come out and said that before, and he's going to want to be paid pretty good. But he doesn't want to work out for you. This isn't an audition. This is you auditioning for him. And it's just the way it is with Odell. There was no running. They didn't bring him on the field. Say, hey, go run a couple routes to see what you got. This is Odell Beckham. He wants to be wined and dined, and he wants you to bend over backwards and pull out the red carpet and show you what he can have. And he wants you to go off of what he's done in the past. And I understand the concerns that Jerry Jones has with not signing Odell. But nobody is going to have this guy out there running routes. I think he might go to Buffalo. He wants to be here. There's talks about Odell wants to be here. Will Jerry Jones open the checkbook with the concerns that he has? That is the question that has yet to be seen so far. He's going to go meet with the Buffalo Bills next, I believe. We'll see. I think the Giants could get desperate and overpay. And because they probably have the cap space and they have the money to overpay him to get him to come there. But who knows? If he goes to Dallas, to me, the Cowboy fans want him. I think there's a lot of people that do. To me, this is a move that says from Jerry Jones that he's all in. Hey, I'm all in. Let's add another weapon to this offense. It's already scoring a lot of points. Let's get him in here and see what he can do. To me, it's an all-in move. And Jerry Jones has said plenty of times the amount of money he would write on a check to win another Super Bowl will blow your mind. Well, Jerry, we haven't seen that since you talked about it. So, in my eyes, I think they should sign Odell Beckham. I think he would work out great here as long as he's healthy. And it's just, when is he going to be healthy? This year, next year, who knows? But I think it's a good move, especially if he can help you out this season in the playoff push. And this says to me that Jerry Jones is all in on what the team he's got if he makes this move. Let me know, guys, if you want him or not. I don't know. I think a lot of people do. There's a lot of people that don't. We'll see. College football this last weekend. TCU, they let one go. And I have no clue why Sonny Dykes did not kick the field goal there on 4th down and decided to go for the 4th down play. Didn't get it. You gave the game away. The other team was right there in field goal range. It didn't make any sense to me. But That being said, the playoffs are set, baby, and TCU is number 3. Okay. Yes, yes, yes. I love it. I love it. I love it. Um, sorry, I got a text from the wife. I love it. TCU's in. I didn't expect us to have this kind of season. Sonny Dykes has got us playing really well. Now, did they get the 4 right? You got Georgia at 1. I don't think there's any argument there. Michigan at 2. Can't argue that. I mean, Michigan played really well this season. They beat the brakes off Ohio State at home. Um, that's their game of the season for them. They're going to be the number 2 spot. TCU does not get punished for losing because they stay at the number 3 spot, and Ohio State jumps into that spot number 4 after USC gets blown out against Utah. So if USC wins, they're there at 4. But they lost. They got blown out, and Ohio State bumps in there number 4. Alabama finished at 5. I love to see them out of the college football playoffs. And um, so you're going to have Georgia versus Ohio State and Michigan versus TCU. And they're going to be great football games. I think the number 1 team, the best team in the league is Georgia. I don't think that is questionable. They've handled business this season. They play great defense. Their quarterback is pretty dang good. He's actually probably going to win the Heisman Trophy this year. He's up for it. So is TCU's quarterback as well. So um, just fantastic. I think they got it right. I don't think you can really argue for Alabama to be in there with 2 losses. And I think it's going to be a great time watching these games. My only problem is they take so long to play them. These games don't happen until um, the end of December, beginning of January. College football, Deion Sanders accepts the Colorado job. Now, this is interesting. There's some people that think that he bailed out on Jackson State. He was there 3 years. He came there. He did what he was supposed to do, did what he said he was going to do. Excuse me. And, um, excuse me. He did what he was supposed to do, did what he said he was going to do. And he went there to Colorado, and some people thought he's a little harsh because he's out there going, enter the transfer portal, guys. I got guys coming. And my son's the quarterback and all this stuff. All right. People will go there because Deion Sanders. Plain and simple. They're already doing it. There's been, I think, 1,000 entries into the portal since it started the other day. Deion Sanders is bringing over guys from Jackson State that were really good. Top, 5-star recruits. And he's going to turn this around there as far as getting people to come and recruiting. And I think he's a very motivational coach. He may be harsh, but he's very motivational. So in Colorado said, hey, I don't know we're going to get the money to pay this guy, but we will find it, which is kind of interesting there, as he has like a 3 or 4 year deal worth $5 million each year. So kudos to him. Moving on up. I thought the Colorado job might be too, not as strong of a offer or going there, but you know, but he took a job. Maybe other people weren't calling. I'm not sure, but we'll see where he goes from here. See how fast he can turn around this Colorado football team. Major League Baseball winter meetings are going on. You got people signing left and right and going to different teams. So Trey Turner gets 11-year, $300 million from the Phillies. Good pickup for them. Trey Turner is a good baseball player. You got Justin Verlander, the pitcher who, as he got older in Houston, got better. And you're like, how in the heck does this keep happening? Well, he's leaving Houston, thank goodness. He's going to the Mets. He signed a 2-year, $86 million deal with the Mets to play for New York. So good to see him leave my division. Dodgers re-signed Clayton Kershaw to a 1-year deal to keep him there with L.A. So hoping maybe the Rangers might be able to get him, but Dodgers re-sign him and snatch him back up, as the Dodgers also part ways with Cody Bellinger. And he's going to have some teams wanting him. and he took a hit last year, and his numbers went down a little bit, but I still think he can be a pretty good baseball player. And my Texas Rangers, baby, that's right. My Texas Rangers go out and sign Jason DeGrom. No, sorry, not Jason, Jacob DeGrom. And I put a TikTok out on earlier about why you should not be mad as a Texas Ranger fan and why I'm not. And I'm going to tell you exactly why. I am not going to be the fan that complains that the Rangers ownership never spends money and then turn around and complain about the money we spent. Not going to do it. They never spend money. They never do. They did last year. They opened the checkbook out. They went out and got Corey Seager and Trevor Simeon. And now they open their checkbook to DeGrom. He said, I'm not listening to any deals under 5 years. The Rangers are the only ones they were able to go and do that offered him a 5-year deal. Is it a lot of money? Yes. It's not my money though. Okay. I'm not going to get mad at it. Also, to keep in mind, when Cody Bell or when DeGrom pitches, he's the best pitcher in baseball. His numbers are insane. They're video game numbers, okay? Those are the questions, though. His health is the major concern. I get it. He's 34 years old. I get it. That is a lot of money. Put all these questions beside. Be happy, Ranger fans. Your ownership is spending money. We never do it. We never spend money. Be excited. I'm going to be excited to go watch him pitch next season. I'm going to be excited to go to the ballpark and see him pitch. And he may turn this around. Our medical staff might get him to play more. I don't know. We'll see. I get all the questions. I get all the that's a lot of money and how many games is he going to pitch and yada yada yada. I get it. I understand, and I can understand that. And um, you know, part of me is going, man, that is the questions. But I'm not going to sit here and bash the Rangers for never spending money like I have before. And then when they start spending it, bash them for spending it. I'm not going to do it. I think that's a little hypocritical. And I'm excited. This guy is the best pitcher in baseball when he pitches, when he's healthy. And we got him. So kudos to you, Rangers fan or Rangers. Hopefully you go out and get some more. We need another pitcher, at least another arm. We got Perez to come back. Maybe use another bat in the outfield, but our future is bright in Texas, and we've got a good farm system. We've got some names as the pitching staff coming up, so I think we're gonna be set for um, the future's looking good. We're not gonna come out and make the playoffs next season, but at least we're spending money and making moves to make our teams better. I am not going to kill the Rangers for this, and I really like the move. I understand the questions. I do. I get it. But let's be excited, Ranger fans. And we're gonna have to. One other thing too, I didn't even mention, is people. We're not the Dodgers. Okay, we're not the Yankees. We're not the Cardinals. We're the Texas Rangers. People don't just want to come sign up to play for us. This doesn't happen that way. We have to overpay to get guys here. It's just who we are. We are a big market, but we're not the Showtime huge market that the Yankees and Dodgers and people will take a pay cut to go sign, right? To go sign there. So be happy, be excited, and let's watch. Be excited to get this guy to come out and win games for us next season. Um, but that is all I got for this episode. It looks like Craig didn't make it. Unfortunately, he had a long day at work. Work's been a pain in our butts lately. I've broken down on Thursday. My truck broke down on Monday. It broke down today. I barely got anything done. I'm behind all my route. It's been crazy. It's been stressful, but this is what it is. It's part of the job that we deal with. So that's going to be it for this week's episode, guys. I pray that you guys have a great rest of your week. Mine's going to be a very long week for me. Have a good weekend. We got an episode coming out on Friday. Hopefully Craig will be able to make that one. I'll see when Jeff can make it. And I'm trying to do an episode where I can get on here and talk about. I'm going to get on here and talk about um, just life in general, different things other than sports. I've been wanting to do that, and that's kind of why we open this thing up to the Outspoken Network to give us the ability to kind of talk about really kind of anything, sports, family, life in general. Um, so I'm gonna get on here with my couple buddies and just get on here and kind of interview them and get to know them on here, and you guys get to know them too. But we're looking forward here to week 14 already in the NFL. Can't believe it's already week 14. It's December, baby. It's pretty warm here in Texas though. It was like 72 today, which is fine. I like the 70s. Just a little weird. The up and down weather is getting everyone sick. All right, guys. Well, that's your episode today. Solo edition. Uh, this episode 171, guys. God bless and remember to keep it outspoken.